What's going on, everyone? I thought I'd do a quick little setup of how my gaming room is set up. I guess normally they would do these like, oh, this is my 100th video or whatever, and then they'll show you what their setup looks like, but I figured I'd go ahead and do it now. Right now, the way I have this set up is, okay, so here's my 28-inch monitor, and normally my PS4 is sitting there. This is a PS3 sitting there. I actually haven't played that PS3 in probably 3-4 years. Basically right when I got my PS4 I stopped playing the PS3. So normally my PS4 sits there, but my PS4 is actually up in my bedroom right now, hooked up to my TV upstairs. But whenever I do recordings or anything else, I'll bring that down here and do recordings off of it. If I'm playing a game on it by myself and I'm not worrying about recording it, then I'll usually hook it up to the surround sound and play it off the speakers. If I'm doing a recording with audio or anything else like that, then I'll use my headset. And the receiver that I have is just a Pioneer receiver that I've had for probably 6 or 7 years now. Works great. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. Center channel, the 2 bookshelves, which I actually have 4 bookshelf speakers. The other one is actually back behind there. And the reason why they're all set up around that is I'll just turn this chair over to it and play and relax and do whatever off of the PS4. Here is my monitors. The monitors are 24-inch, 144 hertz monitors. I fucking love these monitors. And the stand that I have, that stand is so fucking massive. But before I had that stand, I actually had built this stand and had all the monitors sitting on top of it with all the speakers that were down below it. And had that for, I don't know, probably about 1.5 years, maybe 2, before I finally bought the stand. And I love the stand, but it's fucking massive. This is a keyboard that I use, which is basically just a $12, $15 keyboard. My son has a mechanical keyboard, and it's nice. Mechanical keyboards to me, they're too loud, and it feels like it's distracting to me when people can hear me typing and everything else, so I just stick with the basic run-of-the-mill keyboard, and that keyboard I've had no problems with. I do have the Death Adder Chroma Edition mouse. That's a simple EVGA mouse pad that actually came with one of the Titan X's that I ordered. I do have these 3D glasses and the unit that, but I actually haven't used this thing in years. As a matter of fact, when I got it, I used it maybe a handful of times, but I don't know, I didn't care for it. It wasn't like you put them on and it was 3D that popped out at you. It was more or less that you were just kind of looking out a window. So things had depth to them, but nothing actually ever came out and reached out at you and whatever. So they were just kind of like a little fad thing that I ended up not even using that much. I do have a TrackIR set up, and here's my wireless headset that I use. Now, when I first had the TrackIR and I had the Pro Stick obviously is wired. Well, I didn't like having, oh, here's my wireless headset, but I have to unfortunately use a wired Pro Stick. So I actually took a Pro Stick. I bought 2 just in case I fucked up one, but I had to wrap this thing in tape because this thing is like so flimsy that it just falls off for no reason. But I ended up taking the wire, splicing the wire, and putting a battery on it. So whenever I actually go to use this, I have a loop set up right here that I'll put the battery in, clip it to the headset, and now that Pro Stick is wireless along with my headset. I do have a Xbox One mouse or controller that I use, and I do have the wireless dongle for it, but I don't remember why I took it off. But for the most part, that's usually what I use for, playing GTA or anything else where you're driving and all that stuff. First-person shooters, obviously you go back to the keyboard and mouse, but the Xbox controller is nice just to be able to kick back. Now, about this chair. This is a home theater chair that I had. It was a set of 3 that I had in my theater room. Well, when we moved, we ended up buying a big wraparound couch, and us having this big wraparound couch, we didn't really need these theater chairs anymore, so I ended up selling 2. I kept this one, and it actually just sat in this corner for the longest time. And I had my computer chair there, and of course my computer chair is old as fuck, and it's falling apart and everything else. This chair is so old. I just haven't got rid of it yet. But what I ended up doing is I actually took this chair and put wheels on it. So I can actually wheel this thing around, and if I sit on it, scoot in, scoot out, do whatever, then I got the wheels on there that I can do. Right under there's a power subwoofer that I actually have a wire running that goes to another subwoofer, which is really overkill, and hell, half the time I think I turn that down anyway because my son's room's right above. I do have these foot pedals, and the foot pedals I used back when I played Arma and flew helicopters and played DayZ and did all that stuff. And it was kind of nice to use those foot pedals to lean left and right when you're on foot. But mainly I kind of just use them for helicopters. Right now, I don't even think that's plugged up. They're pretty much Velcroed to the carpet. And so it's kind of nice to actually be able to sit in the chair. And if I don't want it to recline, then I can actually just sit my feet in there. And it's just essentially becomes like a foothold. But I'm sure at some point I will use them. I just haven't found a game that I'm like, man, I really wish I had my foot pedals for them. Here's my tower. My tower is a HAF X blue edition. I prefer blue lights, LED lights over red LED lights. It's just a preference. My son likes it the other way. He likes the red and not really the blue. This is a Rampage 4 Black Edition motherboard. My processor is an i7 4960X. It's cooled up with a water cooling unit. I did have different fans that I ended up putting on there. The RipJaws memory is 32 gigs, and I want to say they're 2400 megahertz. I think is what I don't remember. I don't remember if they were 18 or 21. I think they might be 21. But that is 32 gigs of memory. I do have two Titan X's running an SLI, and I know that people will look at that and go, oh, you have a 3 bridge on instead of the normal SLI bridge. I did have a different graphics card in there at one point, but I took it out. That bridge still works as it's intended, so I don't have any problems with it. I do have a 1500 watt power supply. I do have two 256 gig SSD drives that are in a RAID 0, 2 terabyte data storage drive for all my recordings and whatever. I do have 2 other SSD drives in there. I think I had a few games installed on it at one point, but essentially there's no games on it. I don't really think there's anything on any of them right now. Obviously this isn't the way the stand normally is, but I just opened it up so I could do this video. Let's see. What else? Okay, so back with these speakers. These speakers are set up this way, and I showed you where they are. This one is facing the wrong way because I do run on this treadmill quite a bit, and when I run on the treadmill, I run the fan blowing on me, and I want to be able to listen to music, so I have it all kind of pointed in that general direction. I also have, there's posters that I have set up. That's a Battlefield 3 one that I just have behind there. Those 2 Battlefield ones I actually want to take down and replace them with something else. I just don't know what yet. I do have a projector monitor or projector screen over here that I had built and put up a while back ago, and it sits away from the wall. There was blue lights that were around it, and I had that set up because I did have a projector in here. I actually ended up selling that projector to a friend. I just never took the box down, and I never took the screen off. But it was kind of nice if I'm sitting in this chair, just simply turn it around, have surround sound going, and play a game off the projector. But like I said, I haven't done that in years. I just haven't taken it off either yet. Now let's see, what else do I have that I haven't told you guys about? I think it's kind of it. But yeah, this is my setup, and I do run these as NVIDIA Surround for the games that it supports, or using the different tools to help support the flawless widescreen that I'll use. It just depends on the game. Usually if I'm recording, it takes up a lot to try to record 3 screens, and I'll try to set it up as just to record 1 screen, but then, it's just one of those things that a lot of times I just play off of one, and then I'll have things up running on the other monitors for me to see, TeamSpeak, all that stuff. But yeah, this is my room. This is how it's set up. I really like it. I imagine things will change. Like I said, the only thing that's not down here that should be down here is the PS4, but that does come down here. But yeah, this is pretty much my room. Oh, and I know, real quick, I know you guys are going to say, like, why the fuck are you using folding tables with all that nice equipment? Those folding tables, I fucking love these folding tables. I had other desks before, and those desks always had some limitation, like the monitors didn't reach or whatever. But those are the folding tables I have, and I actually really like having them. So, yep, this is my room. I hope you guys like it. Leave in the comments if you guys want to know anything else. All right, thanks.